Hey everybody, WILDMAN here, and I'm back in the gym today, and on this day I was doing the axle deadlift. And that axle bar weighs 30 pounds, so it's about 15 pounds less than a normal barbell, but it's very stiff, so it's a lot harder to get it off the floor, and it's thicker in diameter. And in between my sets as I go up in weights, I'm going to be doing some bar facing burpees. This is a great exercise to work the chest, abs, legs, and do the explosive movement as well. It's a great warm-up to do in conditioning as I go up and weight for the deadlift. And I'm also going to be doing some rowing, which I'm not going to be filming like in between every single set. So I'm just going to show you just this one thing that I'm doing. But rowing is a good exercise to do on deadlift day because it warms up your back and you get your legs moving in kind of the same movement pattern that you're going to be doing for the deadlift. And it's a good conditioning movement as well. That's going to be the strength giant set for the day. So no, real quick, I really don't know what's up with that speaker. It was really loud in the gym. That's because Frank the Carnivore and my buddy Nelson was working out to my left, that would be your right if you're viewing this. And they decided to play their music really loud. And there's a speaker in that gym. And apparently it has a multicolored feature on there. And every once in a while, Nelson would press a button and it would say, "Let's party," every time he kind of got bored in the gym. So clearly Nelson wasn't working out hard enough and he had to entertain himself by messing with that speaker. But it is pretty to look at, I guess, and I just noticed it right now because I was too busy working out and actually trying to make gains. So since I was trying to pay attention to that, I really didn't see that speaker behind me and how colorful it was. Now the reason why I'm using the axle bar for today's workout is for two reasons. Number one, the axle deadlift is common when it comes to strongman competitions, so I need to practice with it. But number two, it's very hard to pull from the ground because it's very stiff. A barbell, if you get good technically with it, you can pull slightly and you can take like an inch or two before you actually start pulling from the ground. And that's just simply because the barbell bends. Well, the axle bar does not bend. And if you do end up bending it because you have too much weight on there, then it actually bends permanently. So it really doesn't help at all. Now, there was a guy that came into the gym and he wanted to do incline bench press and use that rack. So I kindly vacated that spot so that way we could work out in tandem where I could have the end of the platform to do my deadlifts and he could have the rack so that he could do his incline bench press. Because I really wasn't using it. I was just using it, mainly to get that colorful speaker in there to spice up my channel. Not really, but you get what I'm trying to say. So I was feeling relatively good this day. So I was making bigger jumps than I normally do. I just kept adding 45-pound plates instead of my traditional a quarter and then a 45, a quarter and then a 45. But as I got up to my top weight here, as Nelson says hello, I guess he was tired of using that speaker. So now he's got to jump into my video to entertain himself. But anywho, I added the 15 pounds to each side just to kind of see where I was at and see how fast this was going to go. And this moved relatively quick. However, it did kind of feel heavy in my hands. So even though it moved quick, I really didn't know about it until I actually reviewed the video and saw how fast that moved. Maybe had I known that, I would have made an even bigger jump than what I planned to do. But just judging off how it felt in my hands, I decided just to do 450 pounds on the axle because that's actually going to be a PR. I've never hit 450 pounds on an axle bar before. I was going through my notes in the past to see if I have. And no, the most I've ever hit was 440 pounds for 3 reps. So this would give me a chance, I guess, to see how 450 would move. And this moved very fast and very efficiently, but it did feel very heavy in my hands. So because it did, I decided that was going to be my top set for the day. And I immediately moved to the variation giant set, which is going to be the Penlay Road, which is going to be 120 pounds. And I'm just going to be in this formation right here to really work my upper back. Since that deadlift kind of drained me a little bit, this is just a good bodybuilding thing. But I continue to do the same format as the strength giant set by doing those bar facing burpees, just to land on an even number. And of course they're a great conditioner, and it's just a good reminder that my hips are functional even after lifting heavy. And just so you know, I was doing those rowing in between every single set. And then I moved on to some other stuff as well, but the gym was getting kind of crowded, so I didn't film it. So I really appreciate everybody stopping by and working out with me today. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.